Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Legion of Meepers Memestream Saturday edition. Thank you all for being here today. Let's get started with the show. But before we do that, let's give a special shout out to Coffee Brand Coffee for making us part of their affiliate program. We appreciate you guys so much. And if you guys want some of that nice coffee, not only coffee, they got cocoa, they got cold brew, and they got tea, and as well as some snacks. So we're just going to run that little promo real quick. Make sure you use the Hail LOM discount code, and the link is in the description below for easy access.
Or as we should say,
extra.
Yep.
Don't take it from No Green Rocks. Take it from No Green Rocks.
Hello, everybody. I just wanted to share with you some great news. We are now an official affiliate of Coffee Brand Coffee. So go check out their coffee. It is fantastic, fresh, tasty, fragrance. Oh my goodness, my mouth is getting more watery just thinking about it. If you are considering getting Coffee Brand Coffee, or you just need coffee in general, go check out coffeebrandcoffee.com. Again, that is coffeebrandcoffee.com. And don't forget to use the promo code HAIL for a special discount.
And just so you guys know, when you order right now, there is a 10% discount. So we really appreciate using the Legion of Memers promo code, because it does help out the show and it makes us be able to grow bigger. So I appreciate it. So let's get started with intros. Mr. CJP, how's your week going, mate?
It's been a little rough. Had some stuff go down this week that it always kind of brings you down. But I always feel better when I'm on stream with you guys. So better now, much better. Just dropped a new track today. Actually, right as we were doing the introduction there. And then I'm working on something for when I do actually hit 500 subs. I'm about halfway done with producing it. It's a lot weirder, trying to do it through MIDI than I normally do. But the results have been great so far. So I'm looking forward to sharing that with the world. Once you guys sub to my channel, it just takes a little bit of time. Just a little button. Just got to push it.
Go sub to his channel.
And just so you guys know, I did update the main page of the YouTube channel to include everybody's YouTube on there. So if you don't know where to find CJP's YouTube, you can find it on the front page as well, or you can look him up and he'll be there. So I got my act together today, so I appreciate you guys. Devil made me do it, mate. How's your week going?
Good so far. Devil made me do it. Now like 3 on the Twitters. Subscribe to me at Beelzebub. It's right down here under my name. And check out Get Ranked every Sunday.
You forgot the Star Trek one.
What?
You forgot the Star Trek one.
Oh yes, Engaged every freaking before Get Ranked every Sunday, and a bunch of other places, but I don't want to take 20 minutes to tell you where all the places I am.
So his channel is also on that front page, so go check that out and subscribe. I think we're all trying to build our YouTube channels a little bit more, so we really appreciate the help, everybody. Oculus, mate, how's your weekend going?
Pretty chilling. Just a calm Saturday evening, just chilling with you guys. And yes, my name is Oculus. You can follow me on Twitter. Well, I mostly do Friday Night Tights every Friday nights. And yeah, go follow me there.
Awesome, man. You've been killing it with the meme game. Keep up the good work. I love seeing it.
Indeed. Every Friday.
And just so you guys know, there are shows all the time. If you guys are covering the shows and memeing, make sure to hashtag Legion or add us so we can also pay attention to those shows because we do want to expand our show coverage. So just make sure to do that and show a little bit of love to the channels that you like so we can check them out. Kenzo, you have been very busy this week, haven't you?
I've been doing lots of animating. Well, I put out something that I'd been working on the week before. And I put out the little Mossa dance thingy I did, and I think that went over pretty well.
I love it.
Yeah, thanks, man. But yeah, just you can find me at my YouTube channel, Art by Kenzo, and same over on the Twitters, where I'll be posting memes, artwork, and some crazy animations and stuff. But yeah, good to be back on the Legion with humans.
It's great having you, man. I saw that Mazza video this morning.
He is
laughed
a
my butt
dirty
off.
dog.
I was a little bit grumpy.
He's definitely a
extra-
dirty dog. Sorry.
Yeah. I saw somebody put that on their profile banner on Twitter.
Yeah, Nico, shout out to Nico, man. Nice one, brother.
Extra Zero, mate. What you been up to, my dude?
I've been up to a lot. It's been a good week. So yeah, I've been back. It's been quiet at work. The project that I'm on is wrapping up, so it's been nice and quiet, getting back into my regular routine. I've been memeing the hell out of side scrollers again. Feels good. I will be on side scrollers this coming Friday, the 29th. So be ready for that. So I won't be on the stream next weekend. I've got a wedding to go to on Saturday, but I'm really looking forward to being on side scrollers and get to talk with them and hang out with the crew over there. So I expect and hope everybody will be beaming the hell out of me while I'm on there as guest. So as far as this week, I actually had a tweet go viral ish. I've never had this reception to a tweet before, but Scott the Waz, you guys know who he is?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So he put out a thing where he's doing a future episode, and he wanted somebody to, he wanted people to come in and leave him fake voicemails, and a few of them have popped off. Like Ego Raptor did one, and I just had this idea pop in my head where it's like, I'll do my shitty Sean Connery impression and just leave him a voicemail. And I'm looking at it now, and I've got 32.2 thousand views on this thing.
Good damn.
And yeah, I'm like, holy shit. I had one person go, no AI, cringe, and I had to remind them, I was like, that's 100% my voice, my shitty Sean Connery impression.
Did that kind of deflate them a little bit?
They just responded with tear emojis, literally said, oh, I'm sorry. It said, oh shit, and never mind then, and then 2 tear emojis. I'm like, how did you not know that was my, somebody's voice? But yeah, having a good week. Glad to be here. And I also had a fun tweet last night where I was watching Melee games, and I kind of sort of got Justin Silverman to agree to give James away at his and Kay's wedding. That was amusing to me. That was fun. So stuff going on this week. Of course, during the week, we have a fun one on Figure Action. We've got, you guys know, the 4 Horsemen. They used to work for McFarlane. So I won't be on this one, but my co-host will be doing it. They've got this Kickstarter called Legendary Warriors. So Monday night, we're going to have them on the channel, which is going to be a lot of fun. And Thursday. And then, of course, tomorrow I'll be on with Devil. On Beelzehub, we'll be ranking 80s pop bands. I'm really looking forward to that discussion. So also just give me a follow on Twitter at Extra08. I appreciate it. If you like memes, check me out. Steel Devil's
Absolutely. And again, all the channels are now in the front page of the YouTube. So if you don't know where to find the channel, just go to the front page and they're all in there. And I am Superman if you wasn't scared of Green Rocks, leader, creator, and founder of the Legion of Memers. And give me one sec. Sorry, I just
Oh shit, I forgot to shout out one thing.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
I just came from the Real McCoy on Mephisto's channel. We were talking about Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. How ironic that a movie about memory loss, and here I'm already slipping.
You need your old man glasses? I've got them right here.
I mean, I've got them here. I just don't wear them on stream.
You'll become a nerd if you wear them.
Yeah, right.
But I wasn't here last week because of a holiday, so big shout out to Extra Zero for holding down the fort. Appreciate everybody for behaving.
What's wrong with nerds?
And shout out to Cellshade for coming. He was spending time with family, but he took time out of that. And we also got an awesome clip out of his family reacting to the
football game. Thank you, Cellshade, for coming on. My words are already stuck in my face. So thank you all for being here. Let's give a big shout out to chat, because without them, our show would be a dead show. So appreciate you guys for being here. Let's run through chat and give a shout out to you guys. Cell shades.
Now
Sorry,
say
I'm done.
Cell
All right,
Shade
guys.
sells
You know,
seashells
Extra
by
Zero,
the
you got
seashell.
this covered.
Okay.
I'll see you guys later. I'm done.
All right, Cell Shade coming in with the Legion of Memers emoji that doesn't like to show up through StreamYard, but giving us a big hello and a wave. Hello and wave back to you, my friend. It was
Hey,
great
Cell
talking to you
Shade.
last week. Michael Mendoza giving us a hail. We have D Nalrama coming in. I don't know what that acronym is.
He was expecting me to read it. That's why he did that. Dina Rama, thank you very much, man. Appreciate you.
We've got what's your first thought coming in. Hail everyone. Then of course
The Roman Empire.
Who the hell is this Kenzo UK guy saying hail Michael and hail what's your first thought?
No, I don't know. He's some
Yeah,
weird
no
I
idea.
don't know. Some ginger nobody cares about. I don't know.
homeless guy.
Brightest Day Audiobooks giving us a hi. Mr. P, the OG, hail Legion of Memers. Oakley Vandal coming
Hail
in,
to you.
hail the Legion of Memers. Hail the chat. Hail back to you, our friend. We've got Aaron D, hail Memers. Ash
Hail.
coming in with a good afternoon, Legion.
Good
Horny
afternoon
Alf.
to you as well. Thank you for hanging out.
Horny Alf with a hail Legion.
How you
We've
doing, man?
got, of course, we've got Melee K in here. We're reminding everybody that Sean Connery is the best Bond.
I concur.
Yes, money, buddy. That's
You just need to slap a woman to make her traumatized.
And of course, we got Melee Games in here saying he is such a happy bride.
Oh, James.
So,
Jane. Oh, I got you. I
Yeah.
got you. I was like, hold on. I was a little confused there. Hail, Jonathan Davis, man. Appreciate you, man.
we've got Tris coming in. What's up, fuckers? Extra Zero, Green Rocks, Kenzo, you dog. Hey, Tris.
Trish, your dog. He's here.
Cell Shade's coming in to remind I usually have family over pretty much every week. Well, it's great to spend time with family. I wish I could spend more.
That's what it's all
Good
about, man.
Static 2020 giving us a hi, and also asking where's Vex. Vex will be here. She had to work late, but she will be here at 4:30 on the dot. So we're gonna get through our intros and our chat and probably one community talking point. Then she'll come in, and we will get to her and everything going on with her, and then that I think gets us caught up on the chat.
Thanks, chat.
You know what? Extra Zero. Do you know how to do polls?
Not through StreamYard, but before we get to that, we just got our first super chat of the day from Kizzy saying, at CJP, if Jeremy will be on Vets Talking tonight, I need to apologize for asking if his parents are related. I feel so bad.
I don't know. So if you could tag him maybe on Twitter, he
Let's,
might. He'll
I
respond that way,
don't.
probably.
I'm pretty sure his parents are not related, but I'm pretty sure he does have an uncle grandpa.
Yeah,
He answered that last night. He said no, they're not related.
by much.
I
But I don't know if he'll be on
everything
Skinemax
is relative. Yeah.
Okay. So what I am going to do, guys, is in the chat is I'm going to put a poll up because I'm working on a video right now that I was going to put on my own personal channel, but I think it might be more beneficial to the people who are part of the Legion of Memers YouTube. Basically, YouTube came out with their own version of a mobile editing software, which I'm gonna compare to CapCut. And let me know if you want it on this channel, or I'll go put it on my own. Either way, I just want the information out there so you guys can choose what's best for you or mix and match.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna put that in the poll in the chat. So vote, and at the end of the show, I will decide based on that poll. And I will actually listen to the poll. Just a heads up. Appreciate you guys. So what's the first topic, Extra Zero?
Well, I want to touch on this community topic because Junk 3PO, our boy, went to FanX and got to see a pretty familiar face there. So let me go ahead and we'll get that pulled up. We can watch the video and talk about it.
Will we though? No, I'm just kidding.
We will. Oh, of course, StreamYard changed the way you share system audio. It's no longer a tick box. It's now an actual slider. That's interesting.
Oh.
Let's go ahead and we'll kick this off. Let me guys know. Let me know if there's no audio here when I start this.
City Comic-Con. Gina, do you recognize that character? Yeah? Pretty awesome. Look at this. Salt Lake City Comic-Con. Gina, do you recognize that character? Yeah? Pretty awesome.
So Salt Lake City Comic-Con, FanX, Gina Carano is there. And you know, again, like anytime she comes to these, there's a pretty good turnout of fans there, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I see some pictures Shags had put up. Shout out to Shags.
Yeah, those are some great pictures.
Yeah, man.
Let me
Like
see if I can
was
get those
enjoying it.
pulled up as well. We'll go over to his page here. So yeah, he's got a lot of pictures, but let me see if I can get the ones specifically we're talking about here. I think not in that thread. I see there's Shags with Jay. I'll go ahead and we'll share that one real quick. So there they are together there.
Such a magnificent beard.
Oh hell yeah.
Wait, isn't that with Shags with Yellow Flash?
That's Yellow Flash on the right, Shags on the left.
I thought it was Xi Jinping.
No, wrong kind of bear.
Well, I mean, he was Winnie the Pooh. I see the other pictures he's got with the Mario crew and the Peaches, and, his kids, but I don't see the other pictures with Gina Carano on his page, unfortunately. We did have another community going on here. Let me get this one pulled up because this one is pretty adorable.
Yeah, and just a heads up, I love these community videos. If you have something related to this community and you want to share it with the community, make sure to tag the Legion of Memers and that it'll be retweeted out.
So this comes from our boy Corey Bieber, not to be confused with True Pop Culture. So let's go ahead and we'll take a look at this. And Corey introduced his adorable 3-year-old niece meeting his D-Day Cobra, Jeremy plushie, for the first time. You'll want the sound on for this.
She doesn't hear that.
Can you tell her how Jeremy looks?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like,
It's so cute.
But he's skeleton.
he's a skeleton. Does he have crazy hair? You said he had.
Money.
What will we tell Daisy and Minnie?
About show me what.
Okay, tell Daisy and Minnie what about Jeremy?
They can money. Show me slowly.
Does he have small teeth?
Yes. Big teeth.
Oh, what else?
And he's a big toe. And he has crazy.
Do you want to be friends with Jeremy?
Yeah.
No.
Sounds like a dwarf answer speaking.
And can you give a shout out to the person who put that out?
Yeah, it was Corey Bieber.
Did Jeremy respond to this tweet?
Yeah, he loved it.
That is sweet.
Okay.
That's adorable.
Mhm.
I think everybody does it.
I showed my 6-year-old son some of my Mozza animations, and he don't like Mozza so much. He I tried to show him the dance one that I just done, and he's like, "Oh no, I don't want to see it." I was like, "Why?" He's like, "Oh, Mozza's an idiot, Dad." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah."
From the mouth of Dave.
Of course, I go to try and share Jeremy's response, and it caused StreamYard to wig out on me. But here's Jeremy's response here, saying that's pretty adorable. The thing is, you should show your language in there, but show him the video of Maz farting on stream. It might change his perception.
Yeah, big shout out to the full Aussie. We love you guys.
So let's see. We have another one here, another community note to touch on. This one is in regards to normal world here. So let's go ahead and we'll get this shared out. And Soups, I think you were the one behind this. Let me go ahead and get it rewound.
Actually, both Kenzo and I were the one behind it because Kenzo was the one who actually gave them the shirts. Big shout out to Kenzo. Appreciate you very much. And yeah, I was a little stunned. So check it out.
Yeah. So this is from their post on the 20th, so just a few days ago, and you shared this here. So let's go ahead. And...
Oh yeah. I didn't realize the video. Yeah, go ahead. I don't know. I think the audio will get you hit, but they were talking about breasts.
It's sad. I did that to side scores. I put copywritten audio in this week. I was like, oh fuck, what did I do?
Yes. So the video I will be putting out for the new YouTube app is gonna help you with that kind of stuff.
Yeah. We go ahead and we'll kick this off.
Ass, titties, ass.
Audio.
I like that song.
Yeah.
Ass, titties, ass and titties.
Yeah. So we're gonna talk through it. That way we don't get hit.
Yeah, we all love what they're
like
talking
the song
about.
from Trailer Park Boys. Liquor and whores, liquor and whores.
And let's just give a big shout out to Steel Leg of History for dropping the 199 super chat for No Green Rocks. Thank you for it. The meme you did for me. Of course, man. You know, I am pretty busy a lot of the time, but I always try to fulfill requests when I can. If not, I tend to send them to the Legion, and if somebody can take care of it, they normally do. But we really appreciate you guys being like, hey, can you make this? Because one, it increases our skills, and two, perhaps I can show you how to do it in the future. I know I've been a bit slow on the content for the members, but I am working on it, and it will get done soon, and I will start releasing out tutorial videos for you guys and then releasing it to the public about a week later. So you guys will get a week heads up to start working on things, because I see that you guys have the urge to learn and have the willingness to learn. So I want to put that out there for you guys. Also, thank you for supporting the channel, because without that, we would be struggling a little bit. So thank you very much.
Thanks everybody. And you know, thanks for, I think Stealing of History used our affiliate link last week, and it's greatly appreciated. So
yes, I saw that after the holiday, and I'm very thankful to you, man. That was extremely generous of you. I know you could have used somebody else's affiliate link, and using ours really means a lot. We're kind of low on the leaderboard right now, so if you guys are thinking about buying Coffee Brand Coffee, or you want some coffee, go check out and use our affiliate link that way. It really does help us, and it gives people a little bit of encouragement to reach out to us in the future for affiliate programs and partnership programs. So this is just the first in many, many steps, and we'll see where it goes from there.
Yeah, I really want to also get Jeremy on at some point to talk about, you know, what his process is with the affiliates, and you know, how he's giving people in the community the opportunity to, you know, smaller creators to get sponsorships. I think it's really awesome. It's appreciated. And, you know, I would love to facilitate that conversation down the road.
Don't listen to me. Don't listen to me.
Listen to the
Professor
reviews.
Savage Dad. He says, buy some.
Yeah, he's got a video on his channel. I think he's just on Rumble, but you know, going through and he's making this Coffee Brand Coffee. And,
speaking of Rumble, I do have the chat up right now. If you're not subscribed to the Rumble, especially with everything that is going on, please go do. Maybe hop in the chat, say hi. I am watching it today, so I really do appreciate the followers on the Rumble, because God knows what YouTube is going to do to our channel, especially with us being us. We never know who's going to be next.
So I did get a response back for Kizzy. Dermy said he will be on if his internet is on. So, well, let's get to our last community note. And I won't play this video because it's pertinent to the conversation here. But this is from Nerderotic, and share this out here. He writes. This video was taken down on YouTube, and my channel was given a strike in a clear violation of the copyright claim system. We are fighting it. In the meantime, it will be here on Rumble Video. It's the end of woke Hollywood as we know it, and I feel fine.
And 3 hours later, it's back up.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah. So basically, what happened was one of the extras claimed the channel, claimed the video. They sorted it out a couple. I think it was a little bit later. So just a heads up. Just be careful on YouTube. It is starting to become a very hostile place.
Well, just in general, we will cover the topic later. I think it goes suffice to say we're not going to get into the nitty gritty with Russell Brand, but I think there's a lot to be said with that statement from Rumble. And, I think it's great that Rumble's taking the stand that they are and drawing that line in the sand. Because this is, it's like what's happened to fair use?
Yeah.
And it's kind of nuts that they'll have no problem striking a video, but they'll still run ads on it. They'll still make their money. They love to be like, oh, this isn't advertiser friendly, yet we're still going to run ads on it. We're still going to make money. And I understand that YouTube is a loss leader for Google. It's something that they lose money on, but it allows them to make money off of other things. So it's just it's nuts. It just literally makes no sense.
See, the thing I like about Rumble too, they're impartial. They'll let you have your free speech, but there's no agenda to it. They are impartial. Right. They are handing out creator contracts and stuff. But there seems to be more control from what I heard, as in you can choose your sponsors and ads and stuff that are affiliated with your channel, and they are offering them out to people on both sides, if you like. They are. Whereas you've got a lot of people, for instance, on the like left-wing people will say, "Oh, I don't want to move to Rumble because it's a right-wing platform or whatever," but it's just not the case. From what I've seen, they're very impartial,
and they should be impartial. Metastep, the link, we always post the Rumble link on Twitter. I don't know why it doesn't come up the way it should. We're still trying to figure that out. But I'll go ahead and I'll post the Rumble link in the chat for anybody that would prefer to watch.
I think I also may have put it inside the description of this video as well. If it's not there, it's certainly on Twitter or X or what I'm calling it, Twitter. I don't care, Elon Musk.
It's still twitter.com. So
exactly.
Still Twitter for me, damn it.
Well, we're now joined by go ahead, Rock.
How's it going, guys?
Yeah, I was gonna say we're joined by Vex. Thank you for coming. I know it was probably a bit of a rush to come join us today, so I appreciate you joining us. What's going on? How you doing?
Oh, it's my pleasure, and thank you for understanding that work happens. I'm doing good though. I'm doing all right. I can't really complain about much. How about you guys?
Doing well, mate.
I mean, we're good memers, so meming.
It's always a good time.
It's good to finally meet you properly.
Are you guys talking about the whole Russell Brand and now Rumble losing advertisers thing?
We could actually hop to that topic as soon as you let people know where to find you, and everything like that. Let the people know who haven't seen your stuff. Let them give them a little rundown.
Oh, okay. Well, hi everyone. I'm Vex Electronica, and as you can see by my tag, I guess I identify as a brown magic bonus hole. I try to be inclusive with language these days. I'm a YouTuber primarily, so I have two channels: Vex Electronica and Vex Electronica Gaming. The gaming one, of course, is game related stuff. Hi, I'm waving at you, chat. Hello. And the main channel is TV and movie stuff primarily. I've been at this for 10 months, 9 months now ish. Yeah, that's I don't know what else there is. I'm just trying to bring a different perspective. I don't feel like there's a whole lot of sane female YouTubers out there. So I'm just trying to bring in a voice, and I guess it kind of helps that I check a lot of DEI boxes along the way.
I think I think actually you're the final piece of the puzzle for the diversity quota for the Legion show.
Right. All I got to do is identify as gay or something, and we're in. But
We've got Dami already.
I had a lesbian experience as a teenager. Does that count then? I guess. Maybe.
No, but if you want to describe it, go ahead.
I knew somebody was going to say that. We need explicit details.
You had my attention. You had my curiosity.
Listen, due to the nature of the story,
everybody around,
and minors being involved, I don't think we can tell that story.
No.
We'll have Dermy narrated.
So let's get started on the topic of what is going on with Rumble right now. Now, the reason why we may be pulling back a little bit is because YouTube is asshole, and they will start hitting people's channels if we go past a certain area. So just a heads up, it's not that we don't want to talk about it, it's just that we have to be careful on YouTube for that. And just real quick, Tommy Trees says, got it, hail, and he's dropping dancing bananas and dancing Doge dogs in the Rumble
Tommy
chat.
Trees
So
is Metastep. That's his Rumble handle.
Oh, thank you, Metastep. Appreciate you, man.
So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to read this out with some choice replacement of words here. So this comes from Chris Pavlovsky. So for those that don't know, we're not going to get into the nuance of the Russell Brand story, because I think everybody knows at this point that he's been accused and with no evidence. And UK Parliament has asked multiple platforms to demonetize him, which again, I know how it is in the US, but I even thought that in the UK and in England that there was due process.
It's a violation of the few things in the Magna Carta that are still active.
Yeah. So, a lot of tech platforms got the letters and complied. Rumble did not. And this comes from Chris Pavlovsky, their CEO, if you don't know. And he wrote, "Today we received an extremely disturbing letter from a committee chair in the UK Parliament. While Rumble obviously deplores assault, grape, and all other serious crimes, and believes that both alleged victims and the accused are entitled to a full and serious investigation, it is vital to note that recent allegations against Russell Brand have nothing to do with content on Rumble's platform. Just yesterday, YouTube announced that based solely on these media accusations, it was barring Mr. Brand from monetizing his video content. Rumble stands for very different values. We've devoted ourselves to the vital cause of defending a free internet, meaning internet where no one arbitrarily dictates which ideas can or cannot be heard, or which citizens may or may not be entitled to a platform. We regard it as a deeply inappropriate and dangerous. We regard it as deeply inappropriate and dangerous that the UK Parliament would attempt to control who's allowed to speak on our platform, or to earn a living from doing so. Signaling out an individual and demanding his ban is even more disturbing given the absence of any connection between the allegations and his content on Rumble. We don't agree with the behavior of many Rumble creators, but we refuse to penalize them for the actions that have nothing to do with their platform. Although it may be politically and socially easier for Rumble to join a cancel culture mob, doing so would be a violation of our company's values and mission. We empathetically reject UK Parliament's demands." I think that was very
in
well
short, fuck off English government.
Basically, right. Being a English identifying person myself, obviously the American government can't go after him in the same way, because that is a breach of your First Amendment right. They're not allowed to go after a company and basically silence them. But we don't have that over here. Obviously, we have free speech, but we don't have that sort of same, First Amendment written into the law to protect them from it. But that's, as far as I can see, that's all it was. They were a bit annoyed that he put out his response video. From what I gather, like, I won't go into it too much, but that's what I think. That's how it kind of sounded worded to me. They were saying that how they don't want people to be able to be given a platform to say stuff that's harmful to victims, but they are potential victims in an alleged case. They're not victims yet. It's trial by media.
Yes.
Right, yeah.
Vex, you had something you wanted to say?
Yeah, sorry, I didn't want to interrupt. Is there? Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't the UK start passing quite a few laws when it came
Online
to
safety bill?
Yes.
Yeah, there we go. Because I know you guys have done. Canada has done a similar thing. That's why. And even then, I remember the whole Count Dankula situation.
Yes,
like 3
yeah.
or 4 years ago.
From what I gather, Vex, I think what they want to bring into action is a policy where if someone gets banned off of a platform, they want the social media platforms to work together and have like a blacklist of people, for instance. So they'll say, if you get banned off TikTok, then you're banned from YouTube, Rumble.
Oh my god.
That's what they want.
Authoritarian
Well, do they
bastards.
not realize
The
that
third
it's
world
actually
order.
create a worse problem? Like, people are gonna go harder at their support, aren't they?
Well, from what I gather, that's people have. It's an overreach. Obviously it's an overreach. They're overstepping many boundaries here. It's not just about online. It's the judicial system here. There has been no police charges filed against him or anything.
Well,
Travis,
you'd be good.
I was going to say, Travis from Side Scrollers compiled a list of people that are on the other side. And again, not to make this political, but he compiled a list of celebrities that had their own accusations and nothing happened to them. And some of them being as recent as this year, such as Lizzo, where they did abhorrent things outside of their platforms, yet they still have a platform. And I think that should concern people. Like, why is this not being enforced equally?
The other thing, though, it's not just a case of he's a person with a platform here, that they are seeking out to stop him from earning money, right? And he hasn't been charged for anything. And there's literally people who have been on bail for crimes in this country where I am. They don't seek out to get them sacked from their jobs over it, and that's basically what they're doing.
Why would people who have these allegations go to the media before going to the authorities? That's what I've always wanted to know.
No. The media went to them.
Yeah, the media sought this out. It's also one thing I got correct, Kenzo, is we have First Amendment, but our government's doing the same thing. That the Twitter files prove that. They're interfering with this stuff.
But this was open. That's what I mean. The Twitter files, they were exposed for doing it. You know what I mean? That was sort of, whereas this was an open letter sent out by UK Parliament. It's right out in the open. It's insidious, man.
Was it open until Rumble exposed it?
Yeah, that's a thing.
Well, yeah.
Lucky Rumble put it out there. Yeah. But it's also, I think it's all part of this social credit score that they want to give you, just like China does, where if you do something we don't like, you're not going to be able to purchase a house. You're not going to be able to travel. You're not going to be able to use these services to try to keep us in line, to try to manipulate what
it's already like that here.
It's like that in Canada as well.
There's people being debanked for
that happened in Canada.
Political ideology,
didn't it?
Yep.
No, it happened pretty recently. Actually, in the last couple of months, banks are starting to drop people that were associated with the convoy, or they have quote unquote suspicious interactions online and whatnot. So it's happening over here too, unfortunately.
It's terrible. Like I brought it up before. Like I was saying, even the banks have too much sort of like control. Now I remember in my own lifetime where for instance, you didn't have to have a bank account in order to have a job. In the UK, you do have to. They're not allowed to pay you cash in hand. It's kind of illegal now. So before you would get your money, you'd pay your rent or whatever, and then it was down to you to decide how much of your money you was going to put in the bank. Now it all goes in there, and then even if you want to take it all out, you have to go there physically to take it out, and they just want to control everything.
Just a shout out. I see 8 people watching on Rumble, which is a big jump from before. So thank you guys for watching on Rumble. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Kenzo, Kenzo, you live in the UK, and is this concerning for you as somebody who streams a lot? Like, I would assume you have to be pretty careful as to what you say and do now, knowing that these people will come at you.
Like I said before in this stream many times, I don't like to get into unnecessary arguments on Twitter with strangers anyway. Yeah. Because as far as I'm concerned, like I said, they're just a profile picture spouting nonsense to me. I don't really care, but there is times where I have felt passionate about a specific subject and I have wanted to interject, but then I have just thought to myself, well, is it worth it? I could literally get my door knocked and I could be getting charged for hurting someone's feelings over a tweet, and it is frustrating, like I know it's supposed to be a free speech platform, but I've seen it, where people have literally been arrested for saying normal stuff. There was a mother arrested for disagreeing with gender ideology, and literally she was arrested while cooking dinner at home, and I don't want none of that.
Do you worry too, like, because I mean we were all obviously kids and teenagers, and we got to experience the internet in its early days. Do you worry as a father that your kids are gonna have any issues, like just being kids online, and then suddenly the government starts? Yeah,
for sure, man. We obviously, as a parent, having your children exposed to the internet, you can't just set them free on there and let them watch what they want. There's stuff out there that will literally ruin them. Like,
it's funny.
We have a relative that, like, a young girl that kind of got exposed to a lot of that stuff, and at a very young age she was coming out saying that she identifies as pansexual and saying stuff that maybe an older teenage girl should be saying, but this girl was like 11 and 12 when she was saying this kind of stuff, and it's just like, you should be playing, you should be using your imagination and not be
Don't let your kids be like this. Just give him like a little tablet with little games and movies.
That's
for
it.
them to watch.
I wouldn't even give my kids a tablet.
Even YouTube Kids, man. There's some stuff on there that's very questionable, man.
Do you remember the Elsa Gate situation that happened?
I was just gonna bring that up. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that? I've never heard of that.
Basically, like what it is like Spider-Man and Elsa characters doing these weird sexual situations, or even disturbing like stuff like syringes and gross look and all that crap going on.
It started with them just dancing. It wasn't AI generated, where it was like Elsa, and then it was the Incredible Hulk, and then they started bringing in Mr. Hankety Clankety from World War II, and it was bizarre. And kids would start off because they would search for Frozen, and these videos would get fed in because the AI was picking things up from the algorithm. And then generating them into these dancing videos. They got really bizarre.
That's terrifying. I work in education, so the first thing I tell most parents is like, don't give your kid a tablet or a phone, or just let them sit in front of a computer unmonitored, because even just like the non-harmless stuff, it's just brain rot compared to what we would sit down in front of the TV to watch as kids, right? And they have no attention span is the other problem too. So it literally, they view everything like a TikTok short, which is really depressing, but like they can't sit there and consume a video that is more than 3-4 minutes long.
I had to stop my kid from watching those shorts, because like I'd never let them watch TikTok, but I noticed he had started watching those YouTube shorts, and he would sit there for a period of around 5 to 10 minutes and he's watched 50, 60 videos, and I
Yeah.
would like say to him, tell me about what you've just watched in the last 5 minutes. And he'd be like, I don't know, just YouTube Shorts. I'd be like, no, describe to me what you've just watched.
Yeah, they
Right.
have
And
no concept whatsoever of what they're taking in, and
No.
they don't know how to process it, because on top of that, like, teachers just kind of push onto them rather than foster them, right? Like, at least when we were kids growing up, it's like there was a bit of a balance more, where it's like we're
Yes.
given the tools to understand and interpret the world. But now it's more like you have to know what this is and you have to agree with it. Like, when it comes to, say, the gender ideology, like, this is the only way you can write this essay. These are the only topics that you can do. These are
Mhm.
the only books you're allowed to read. There's no, like, a child's imagination is such a beautiful thing too.
It's
And
being
it's
squashed.
It come in really fast though. Like I have 3 children myself, and they're split up. I had them 5 years apart. So I have a 15, 10, and well, we're 6 now. But yeah, they're 5 years apart. And the 15-year-old, she was like a relatively normal kid. She was into sort of, you know, Frozen and stuff like this, and she would sit and watch full movies. She would watch, you know, TV, Nickelodeon and stuff like this. When I say like normal stuff, I know there's some weird stuff on all them channels too. But,
mostly normal.
yeah, but do you know what I'm saying though? But then the next one along, the boy who's now 10, that's the one that he was more YouTube, you know, and he is more interested at first in watching content creators, people playing computer games and stuff like that. And there is I've noticed a big difference in their attention span. You know, like it's a lot harder to get the middle one to sit down and watch a full movie with us, you know, because he'll get bored. He'll want to be. It's completely different. They've got the whole social media aspect, the gaming with their friends, the group chat with their friends. You know, it's all fully integrated into these youngsters' lifestyles nowadays.
And
Whereas,
even, I don't know about you guys in the UK or in the US, but in Canada, it's really normal for all the kids to just have everything on a Google Classroom. There's no paper handouts anymore. So it's like, on top of all of this, like, screen time, like the shit that they should actually be, you know, taking in properly is in that same interface. So it's like, how is the brain isn't able to distinguish it, because
That's
it's
right.
just getting that same sensory blur as with TV and YouTube and all that stuff. So
do you guys think that, like, one of the challenges is, like, when you know, so I was born in 85, and you know, when I was a kid, you had like a short block of cartoons in the afternoon, and you know, not everybody had cable, and then of course 8 o'clock there was nothing on for kids, and now it's just everything's on demand. It's like, it feels like there's kind of like this entitlement going on, like, well, it's always available, there's no cutoff, and I don't think it's the network's responsibility to be a parent, but I feel like, you know, to your comment about brain rot, it just kind of makes it, there's kind of like this element where there's no cutoff for kids, and they think, well, it's always available, I should always be able to consume it, and it creates this artificial entitlement that just does not create healthy adults.
On top of that, like, I was born in 91, right? So I still had like the block of morning and then afternoon cartoons and whatnot. And I can vividly remember coming home from school and wanting to, there was a specific thing that was on Monday to Friday, and I would watch it, right? Even if it were a rerun. But with the on demand, it's like you watch a show and then that's it. You move on to the next thing. There's no break in between, right? And there's 2 things that bother me about that. It's one, you would watch a new episode every week. So there was an entire week for you to digest, to wait on the next thing rather than bombard.
Anticipation. Yeah.
Right. And then the other thing too is, I don't know if you guys had it as well, but like, I had just like the VHS, like Disney, like some of the Disney shows and then the movies.
Family home video.
Right. And that's all I could watch. Like, if I wanted to get something different to watch, I had to wait till the weekend when we would go to Blockbuster to get something. Otherwise, like summertime, I had to just depend on those VHS tapes alone, and that was it. And in doing that, it's like, yeah, you're watching something repetitively, but you take it in a slightly different time, like a different way each time. So your brain is always, it's not just mindlessly consuming. It's starting to understand, oh, there's a pattern here. There's something I need to be paying attention to. And then you take in things that you don't you don't recognize you saw the time before, even as a kid, right? So there's that kind of loss of cognitive recognition and development on top of that.
The other part of it is when I was born in '78, so I grew up through the '80s boom of cartoons, and yes, they were all toy commercials. They were. There's no way around that. But I bought the toys, so when the show wasn't on, I was playing with those toys, using my imagination to create my own episodes of what was going on, and having crossovers that would never happen with those toys. So it was a lot more of a development for me as a kid, because I was doing all this extra stuff outside of the show.
Yeah, I did the same thing. Yeah, I had all the like Sailor Moon, when Sailor Moon was at his peak in North America. I had all the dolls and I was playing with that outside of, the 2 reruns that there would be a day. So no, totally. That the imagination. There you go.
I mean, if only I could have thrown out of them.
Yeah, the second the camera goes off, he goes right back to Extra Zero. You'll never get the Allspark.
I think Extra Zero needs to fulfill this. Professor Savage Dad says toy commercials were better made than the shit we get today. Extra Zero, we got to have you do a commercial for the Gundam and the Transformers you got.
Well, I mean, because the people making the shows, they knew they were toy commercials, but they also had to make them engaging. They had to be good enough stories that the kids could understand, but make them still think and question at the same time. Yeah. They had to plot these things out immensely.
Well, they were smart about it too. Like with Transformers, Bob Budiansky, who worked at Marvel Comics, he was the one that developed all the characters that went into the bios and eventually fed into the cartoon. So there were actual creatives coming in and using their imagination to bring pieces of plastic to life. And I like to think that helped foster my imagination as a creative. And there's stuff that I come up with all the time, be it memes or my drawings or whatever, that I kind of owe to this. And I think one of the saddest moments, my cousin is she's 17, and when she was a real little girl, I was watching her one day when my grandfather was sick, and I just was watching her, and she says to me like, "Hey, can you draw me a snow castle?" And I said, "Well, yeah, I can draw you one, but why don't you draw your own, and then we compare." I don't know how to draw, and I'm trying to teach her how to draw, and it just was apparent to me. And this was probably about like 2010, 2011, that she didn't have an imagination. And that was like one of the saddest realizations, that she couldn't visualize something. And I understand some kids can't draw, but she didn't have an imagination. And that was like incredibly saddening to me. And I've seen it happen with other kids since. And it's not every kid. Like my cousin, her kids, she cuts their screen time and fosters things, and they all have really healthy imaginations. But yeah, it's a horrible, sad trend I've seen. I don't know if you guys have seen that.
If it's no imagination, that leads to being meaningless. Anyways, no creative background, nothing. Not at all.
You see what's going on with what's going on with Marvel and Disney, and it doesn't seem like there's any imagination. It's all either like doing things that have already been done, or subversion for subversion's sake. Like, let's.
I disagree with that slightly, because I think it's the corporation itself. I do see a lot of passion and love being put into the people who are making the animation or making the effects. Sure, they're being run ragged, and
but that's different from the people writing the stories.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think it's the people who are writing it and the corporations who are doing it, not necessarily artists who are working on it. So I want to make that distinction.
Well, it's also, cartoons used to be about fostering those imaginations, and now it's about selling the idea, whatever their idea is. It's their message. Perfect.
No, you gotta say in the drinker way.
Yeah. It's about the message. Get that message out there. Less about fostering creativity and kids' imaginations. That's not important to them.
Now, have you given them kids Lego? Because that's like full of imagination if you give them Lego.
Legos are still good.
I still see a lot of kids that play. Sorry. still play with the
Yeah.
Lego, and it gets them going when they can't do anything else. So Lego is still a wonderful tool for imagination.
Vex, I'm one of those people.
Don't give them Hasbro or Mattel. They don't care anymore about imagination.
Like if you give me an audiobook and like a box full of Legos, I could sit there for days on end and be okay.
Or if you want to do a Blender animation of Lego, then you can do like a more like an hour video.
Listen, man, once I have the tech, I'll get the skills, and then it will definitely come out. I can almost 100% guarantee it. Right now, I'm just limited by the tech I have because I can't use like Blender and things like that on my phone, unfortunately. Just real quick, I want to give I want to bring up this super chat by Jonathan Davis for $4.99. Thank you very much, my man. He says, I read a book this year called Stolen Focus by Joan Hari. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. He talks about the issue. Just ignore the last few chapters about social change. Appreciate you, man. Thank you. Okay, sorry. I'm a little slow on chat. This is what happens. My producer bounces out for a minute and then I lose everything. But yeah, so I was gonna Vex. I was gonna ask you because, like Kenzo, you're in a very similar situation that you kind of are restrained by the government, coming to your house and knocking on the door if you don't or if you don't follow the way they want things to be done.
Mhm.
Do you care about that, or you're like, forget it, dude? I'm gonna do what I want and let the cards fall where they may.
Oh, I guess within reason, I do what I want. So, like, I'm in the process of immigrating to the US. So, like, in terms of not having a criminal record, it's like I'll abide the law to a certain extent to avoid that because I don't want anything to mess up that opportunity. But at the same time, I very much am just at a point where fuck the government, right? There are several times where I had issues during kind of like the peak of lockdowns here, and I didn't give a fuck. I'm honestly kind of at the point in my life where if you work, at least here in Canada, this view hasn't been tainted in the US yet, but if you work in government, I just think you're a piece of shit. Simply because so I live in Ontario, and 2/3 of the population here is employed by either the provincial or federal government. 2/3 of the population. And I've never met a genuinely half decent person that worked in government. They either were mindless, they were shills, they were just absolutely depressing individuals. They had no happiness whatsoever in them, like just soul suckers in general. So yeah, I don't give a fuck, but as long as it doesn't get me arrested, that's my limit.
So when you get to the States, you're gonna be like, all right, gloves are off now. Let's go.
Yo, you know that gif of the guy standing in the hurricane with the American flag? That is going to be me the day I can finally move to the US. That is
Oh yes, I do. I know that quite well.
You heard it here.
actually.
Vex
And,
is going to become a redneck second she gets here.
I married a redneck, so
So real quick, Extra Zero, what's the next topic on the agenda?
Well, I've got one pulled up. It's a gaming topic, and I'm looking forward to talking some of these gaming topics with Vex. We were talking in DMs about them, so we'll kick it off with the one. This comes from Dexerto, and this is regarding Unity and their response. We did cover how Unity was going to charge off of installs. Well, now the quote says, "I am sorry." Unity boss shares update to runtime fee amid controversy. The Unity personal plan remains free with no runtime fee. Earnings cap increased from 100,000 to 200,000. The made with Unity splash screen requirement is removed. That one's really interesting because I thought that should have been a bare minimum. No fee for games earning less than $1 million in 12 months, and current games unaffected unless they update to the next Unity version. So they're not.
okay. Correct me if I'm wrong, because every time I tried to read about this Unity thing, it was literally like I had ADHD. I could not retain this information whatsoever. they put out a statement like 2 weeks ago now, right? That they were going to add basically a one-time download fee for specific games that meet a monetary threshold. Was that it?
Well, they were going to implement a pay-per-download pricing scheme that would charge developers a flat fee anytime a game using their software was installed.
Okay.
So, and they didn't differentiate between paid and free software either, which was very concerning.
What was there? Did they define that in the end or at any point?
It was defined, but I mean, we looked at the legalese on it, and boy, I'd love to have somebody like Ricada look at that because I couldn't decipher it. And I like to think that I'm pretty good at reading that, but yeah, it was causing there was a lot of confusing language. And I think maybe that was the intent of making it confusing, so they
get away with it a lot easier, right? Yeah.
Well, it says right here. I mean, you agreed to use this, but I mean, I kind of viewed it as like, okay, all you're going to accomplish is get people off of your engines and your development tools.
Yeah, but even then, I think basically most of mainstream gaming uses a Unity engine. Actually, even a lot of indie developers use Unity. So,
oh, absolutely.
Yeah, so I guess if anything, now this entire situation has pushed people to develop different engines, of which I know there's been a handful of them that have been kind of starting to reach the Unity level of quality. So this might be hopefully like the final push to get those a little bit more mainstream and get Unity out of the picture. But what did they ever explain or theorize what? I mean, of course, money is always the goal, but what the reasoning or their reasoning was for this?
They never did, but I have a theory, and it's twofold. One, they started seeing companies like Nintendo using their engine, and well, Nintendo's got deep pockets, but Nintendo also has a massive team of lawyers, and they historically always have. But I think, and my theory is that a lot of mobile games that are ad driven, the ones that you see all the time, in even on Twitter ads and any mobile app ad will have like Ebony and all these games that are rudimentary 3D. I think that they saw all these free-to-play games that were raking in money with their own ads. Like, well, okay, obviously they have deep pockets, so let's, they're putting out free games and reaping rewards. Well, let's take our share off the top because they're using our engine to make our engine and tools to make money. So that's what I thought was probably the core element of it.
Gotcha. Okay.
Maybe somebody in the chat will correct me, but that was my theory on why they were doing this.
Yeah, I haven't been following this as much. I was really tried to get what was going on, but it felt like jarble, whatever I was reading. So, all right. So he's okay.
Sounds
so now
like the ADD meds aren't kicking in.
Seriously, you could throw so many things at me, but for some reason, like I just could not sit and read these Unity articles. I don't know what it was. So now they've issued like a partial apology, or I guess they rescinded the changes last week, and this is now the official apology that came out yesterday.
Yeah, it's like an apology for like, oh, sorry that we got caught doing this unfair thing, not necessarily that we did something bad and whatnot.
And now that we hear your voice, True Pop Culture, how you doing, my dude?
Yeah, it's good to be on here. Hi, Soups. Apologies for the lateness, but yeah, I'm glad to be here. And yeah, Vex, you always appear in my chat whenever I have like uninspired or actually Andrew. So it's nice to chat with you. So
right, it's a pleasure to meet you finally.
In the flesh, yeah. Well, virtual flesh. Yeah. So how's everyone doing? Well, did I miss any? I don't know. Shouting like last time with Cell Shade or anything like that?
No, not much.
There has been no football yet.
We love you, Pop.
No homo, I hope.
Oh well.
So much homo.
Slightly.
Super homo.
Look at you.
It's a romantic romance, all right? It's manly.
Twinkie.
So. What did you say? Say that
Sorry,
again.
give me 1 sec. I'm in the process of.
Okay, bud. So
in the process of
We all love Justin Bieber.
Oh, again with the Justin Bieber, really? Like on Twitter, there was a thing like, what sort of celebrity do you look like? And I was like, I know what this
You've
is.
embraced it. You've embraced it.
I've got it for you perfect there, Tupac. But then I saw his face. He is a believer.
Vex, you had something like a funny answer to that I saw on Twitter. I'm forgetting now. What was your celebrity?
Mia Khalifa.
Oh yeah.
Hit or miss. I guess you never miss, huh? You got a boyfriend, buddy. Kiss ya.
I mean, it could be worse. I mean, Melee K, like we had that question in the Melee Games Discord once, and K's like, "Oh my God, you look exactly like Seth MacFarlane." And I was like, "Oh no."
I see it now, though. Hold on.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll pull it up. It's why I keep the beard. I mean,
definitely.
I put Annie as mine.
Oh, okay. All right, so Zero. I'm gonna your username now is Seth. So
if that's the case, I will go to bed comfortably on my big pile of money every night.
Yeah, it's in the eyes and the brows. That's where it is.
Yeah, it's the eyebrows and the hairline is similar and the shape of the
In the meetup photos, I kept getting compared to Jason Mewes. And,
I think he was more like Gandalf the Red.
Yeah, and everyone kept saying I was like a British Nick Recator as well for some reason.
I kept
don't see it. Yeah,
I kept waiting for Green Rocks to put out a King Kong one.
maybe.
So let's cover.
CGP looks British. I don't know.
He put Harambe out, I think.
Okay.
I put out Harambe.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Well, okay, I'll take this one from Professor Savage. He said, "Extra Zero is what would happen if Seth MacFarlane's alternate dimension doppelganger was based." Yes, and I've never heard that sound like. I can't do.
I've never heard him
Henry
speak.
voices. Yeah, you've heard. Chaka Lulu for $2 says, "Can't wait for Extra Just Christmas album this year." You know, it's funny. I do Christmas songs, but for friends that I've been doing for years.
We're all friends.
No, like people I went to high school with, because there's a guy that
Not
we went to high
that
school
good of
with.
friends, obviously.
Not those sort of friends either. No, there's this guy that we went to high school with, and we referred to him as the pug fucker.
Can you tell us why?
Because we assumed he fucked his pug.
Hold on. What evidence did you take to support this theory? Just did you see a gaping pug asshole or something? Is that it?
I like the way you presume it was a boy pug.
I didn't see it. It was a boy pug. His name was Hoover. We were always like wondering, like, why is he called Hoover? Yeah, because he sucks so much.
Oh.
I didn't think this talk could get to bestiality, but here we go.
But every year, my three friends and I, we do the 12 days of Pugsmas, and every day we try to come up with a new, more fucked up thing that he got for Pugsmas, and it gets us up to Christmas Day. So it'll be Christmas Day, and my now wife will be looking at me like, "What the fuck are you recording?"
So this year, Zero's gonna put out a Christmas album where he sings Pugsmas songs in the voice of Bad Sean Connery.
No, not the Sean Connery. The guy like talks in a very monotone voice. Like this, you know. I have four. Well, it was funny when he was in the closet. He said he had chick magnet pugs, and now I guess they're dick magnet pugs. But you know,
my mom has a pug. It has an eye missing as well, and yeah, but she called it her.
Run into a bald guy with a monotone voice. He's like, "I don't know what happened. I'm sorry."
My mum called her dog because his name's Bruno. So she said, "Oh, where's my little one-eyed Bruno?" And I just thought it sounded like the name for someone's.
We don't know. Rap Dad, we don't know.
Talking, Bruno. You're only making it worse.
I thought it's like extra. Are you like channeling Dermy because he's not here, or
No, I don't want to channel him.
Did he not do Ballbusters in his car?
No, he did Ballbusters from a McDonald's parking lot.
Round the back by the bins.
Wow, nice. I'm impressed. I'm definitely impressed.
Then he started getting $20 donations. Then he got pulled over, and then he used his one phone call to call into the live stream. I guess let's hit one more gaming story before we get into the meme break. And
All right.
this
I didn't miss meme break. Oh, nice.
We haven't done meme
And
break
just
yet.
a heads up, guys, if you guys are making memes, get to it because the meme break will be right after this segment.
Get on it.
We're looking at you, Professor Savage, Jad, and Jonathan.
Yes.
Oh, is this something protocol? I can't remember the name of it. The failed game.
So
Protocol,
yeah. Now I played this game. Vex, I'm assuming you did too.
Yeah, one of the first videos I made for my channel was on the shitstorm that is this game. I fucking hate this game.
I wanted to like it so much. I loved Dead Space, and it was funny
too.
because I wasn't anticipated for the Dead Space remake at all because I'm like, I'm fucking done with all these remakes.
Mhm.
And I was excited for this, and I like Josh Duhamel, however you say his name. I was like, oh, that's cool, that he's in it. He's not like a huge celebrity, but he's a good actor. And
Yeah.
I was interested in the whole prison element because do you ever play that game? The one prison survival hard game. What was that called? Years ago, was it?
Prison survival game?
It was a prison survival hard game that it was like in the PlayStation 2 era.
Ooh, I wouldn't know then. That's too far back for me. Let's see.
The Suffering, and they also had The Suffering 2. And I was
Okay.
like, oh man, this is like a great mashup, The Suffering and Dead Space together. But the melee combat fucking killed it for me.
Mhm.
Like it was glitchy, but the melee combat was like one of the worst elements of the game. It just
I think for me, it was just there was such a huge lack of creativity and innovation. Like it genuinely felt like I was just playing a reskinned Dead Space game, more or less.
Yes.
And I'm the same thing. I love Dead Space. I also wasn't looking forward to that remake because I'm really over this trend of let's just keep remaking everything.
Yes.
That's basically become Sony's selling point at this like stage, right?
Yeah.
But I've heard good things, so I'm waiting for it to go on sale, and then I'll pick it up.
I really enjoyed it.
Okay, that's good to hear.
Yeah.
And I heard that they made some changes in terms of now there's like little side quests and missions that you could do. So
Yes.
I am interested in checking that out because I really love those first two games. Fuck that third game. But
Yeah.
this
I
go ahead.
I never played Dead Space. I only watched the animated movies.
Mhm.
And
Oh, wow.
I don't know if it's anything like the game, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I'm a big baby. I don't like scary, especially when I'm trying to relax. So I probably won't ever play the game, but it definitely seems like a good premise and everything.
It's you know what? I maybe people are going to disagree with me here, but I played it the first two Dead Space games a couple years ago, and I still think they hold up visually in terms
Absolutely.
of getting the creepy and the scary in there.
Especially the eye scene in 2.
Right. So I still think those games are terrifying even now they're 10 pushing 15 years old, right? But yeah, it just looked like a glorified movie. There was nothing particularly horrifying or interesting about it. The space prison element was cool, but aside from the intro and then a few cutscenes here and there, it doesn't really come into play. And even like some of the outdoor scenes that we do get, it was way too similar to
Point A
Dead
to point
Space.
B.
Yeah, and it was again, point A to point B. In the video I made actually reviewing this game, I did a side by side comparison because there was a scene in the Callisto Protocol where you're kind of going through. It's like not a sewer, but it was like a little water treatment area, and I was like, "Fuck, I've seen this like dead ass. I have seen this in Dead Space." And then I combed through about like 4 hours of Dead Space 2 like game footage. It's like there it is. there it is. Final act of Dead Space 2. It's almost 1-for-1, just a graphics upgrade. I was genuine, and this game cost $162 million.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's sad. I mean, so for those that don't know, Glenn Schofield, he was co-founder of Sledgehammer Games, which is still a big key player with Call of Duty, and then he was also the vice president and general manager at Visceral Games that made Dead Space. So a lot of people were really excited. When he and he also did Call of Duty. I liked Advanced Warfare for what it's worth. I thought it was one of the more underrated Call of Duty games.
Yeah, it's definitely better than the newer ones that are coming out right now. So,
and thanks to
that.
Advanced Warfare, we got the press F to pay respects meme.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
All right.
true.
Fair.
But he leaves to form Striking Distance, and I think we expressed how excited we all were. Well, those that were Dead Space fans were excited, and now he's gone. So it's like, I guess the big question is, what's going to happen with this studio? I mean, I'm surprised they haven't folded.
So back last month, they dropped like 30 something employees.
32 employees in their layoff.
Oh, perfect. It's in the article. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they had some cuts there because this game was expected when it launched in December, they were expecting it to sell 5 million copies. By
Yes.
January, it had still struggled to even meet half of that target. I haven't seen any updates as to whether it ever did meet that target. I know the DLC came out and a lot of people were just still even more disappointed. Just because on top of it being completely lackluster, it also felt like the IP was just they were just giving up on it. Like it was a flop from the get-go. We'll put this out and done with it, right?
To date, it's sold 2 million copies. To date.
Oof.
So so the numbers still haven't updated then since the beginning
Yeah.
of the year, I guess. So that's really disappointing. Especially there's like a breakdown that you can find somewhere of year over year what he was spending on this game, because it's Striking Distance Studios is owned by a Korean company called Krafton. So they were the ones pouring money into this. There was like 1 year he used 62 million. Then there's another year where he used like, oh, hold on. It's converting from won. Sorry. So it's about 250 like Korean won to 162 million US. So it's like 1 year he was using a million won. Another year he was using 62. And then but then there's like a whole gaps in the spending because this game took almost 10 years to develop is the other thing.
Yeah, I've never heard of this site, but they've got sources here where, as you're saying, it cost 2 billion
won. Jesus Christ.
200 billion won to produce, and that's South Korea's currency, so 162 million.
Just where did the money go? Like I really it's and this is I'm afraid of this because I don't know if you guys heard about the GTA 6 rumors, how that's apparently a $200 million game so far in development.
Yeah.
But
Rumor
I'm just
$150 a copy.
Yeah, so I'm wondering, like, because we all know that Hollywood is basically laundering money at this point with some of the budgets that they have here for flops.
Yeah.
I'm very just concerned that now, because already you can see the lack of creativity bleeding into gaming. Like AAA gaming has more or less just died away. There's nothing interesting really happening there. I do think indie gaming is doing phenomenal though in that respect. Right there you go. Right.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just concerned that now, because gaming has become such a big hobby, it's incentive to, oh, this is another way that we can funnel money to, I don't know, fucking Ukraine or some shit like that.
I mean, Smooth the DJ is saying GTA 6 will be a glorious dumpster fire. I mean, for me, the biggest red flag was the Hauser brothers, and the writers just dipping out of it. Say what you will about Max Payne 3, I thought it was terrifically written, even if it was slightly pretentious at times. But it's like without that writing, the edginess, the tongue in cheek, and hearing what the leaks are, they want to put the real world elements. And it's like you've already had corrupt cops in GTA. Like who could forget Officer Tenpenny, from San Andreas?
Yeah, my concern with GTA 6 is Rockstar went woke.
Yes,
not the good kind of woke. So, and not only that, but a lot of the kind of integral figures left after Red Dead Redemption 2 came out. So I'm just like, I think the whole like, oh, there's a female protagonist thing was blown way out of the water. I don't really care much about that, but
Mhm.
I'm kind of in agreement. I think GTA 6, because there's so much hype around it, financially will be a success, but it'll fall much the way as, say, Starfield, for example, where a lot of people are just kind of like, it's okay. It's not that great. It's not that bad, but it's all right.
Like
Yeah,
a
I think
GTA 5, but with updated graphics.
There you go, right? Even like the leaks that came out 2 years ago now, it just looked like a Red Dead Redemption 2. It even had the same weapons wheel and hotkeys as Red Dead
Yeah.
Redemption 2.
I think it's
And-
going to be a case of member San Andreas.
yeah, member berries. There we go. 'cause
That's
we know that's-
Member
I
Vice
had
City.
I had the most fun playing San Andreas, I think, out of
Me too.
well, and Vice City as well. I really enjoyed, but like 4 had all the same stuff you could do in San Andreas, but it just didn't. I didn't. 4 didn't resonate with me as much as
5.
San Andreas did. 5 was okay.
Yeah. I mean, 5 took place in San Andreas. I meant to say member Vice City because the rumor is 6 takes place in Vice City.
Okay.
And you're hopping back between time periods, so
At least the soundtrack would be halfway decent.
Have you guys heard? I don't know if it's a rumor or it's apparently going to be a feature, but if you customize your character to be black or something like that,
Oh, about the cops, yeah.
the cops are going to treat you more aggressively.
I
How
think
do you
that's
guys-
great. I think that's great because GTA, like one of the great things about the series and what made it as popular as it did, it's its ability to make satire out of a lot of real world situations. So if the cops do that, I think that's fucking hilarious. I would love
The
to see
radio
that.
station. The radio station.
mean,
used to be
I
hilarious.
don't think the intention was to be funny, but I get your point. It is funny. Yeah.
if you guys have played the South Park games, like I think Matt and Trey are probably going to be the only people that, yeah. Did you see that?
I forgot about that.
Oh, that's great.
I've forgotten about that.
Yeah.
I remember
So-
when like Twitter discovered this and that crazy YouTuber that keeps like jumping into his like screen or screaming. I can't remember his name. I Show Speed or something like that. I can't remember his name. Like a Twitch
I Show
streamer or some
Speed.
guy.
Yeah.
Or something
You
like
got it
that.
right.
Like he discovered it and he was like, "What the hell is this?" Like completely oblivious to like the South Park comedy, let's say. So and that went viral on Twitter. I do remember that. Or X. Sorry for dead naming Twitter. It's X.
Oh no, it's still twitter.com to get
It's
to the
Twitter.
website. So
That's me, damn it.
So what do you guys say we get a little meme break?
sure.
Let's do it.
Let's do
Let's
it.
do it to it, people.
Do
All right. Let me get everything queued up here. All right. So we have our post on X. Actually, before I do that, let me make sure we have audio because some of these have audio. So let's go ahead and get that shared out with audio. So we're doing it right. We get our first one here from the Legion. From the Legion.
Yeah, that was me. My bad. I posted the wrong thing because I was rushing.
You from Norwegian?
Norwegian?
Oh, wait, did we get
From
that
the
with
Legion account. Okay, let's go ahead and we'll play this one.
Hang on, wrong music.
And so proudly.
No, this is Vex when she comes to the
To
stage.
He's doing all American things. There you go.
Should be the British anthem. No, it should be the Polish anthem.
And just so you know, with the music, I searched it under YouTube and I checked out Creative Commons. Typically, that should be okay. If
Okay.
not,
That's
then,
blessed.
I will have to
Yeah.
cut the
Interesting.
segment.
Classical music's fine as well.
Yeah.
If the
didn't
music
know
is over
anthems
100
were
years old,
copyright.
it should be fine.
Okay.
Next up, Jeremy, why are you at McDonald's? I thought you were doing keto. What? I came here for the Wi-Fi.
It's got Hawaiian buns for arms.
Here's Jeremy wasting his only phone call to get on stream. I swear, guys, I only have one bar. This has nothing to do with Chuck E. Cheese. Also, we have where's Cloud today? Well, he's remaking Hustle and Flow. It's hard out here.
Shout out to Cloud.
Screenwave's Justin Silverman after agreeing to give Melee James away at his and Melee K's wedding. Walking him down the aisle. Then we get this one. Release the McCracken.
Brilliant.
Vex's American
Is this
Dream
in Florida?
Is that your victory dance, Vex?
That's gonna be my victory dance one day.
Careful about the audio.
Then also from Release the McCracken. That
Yes.
Christmas album was a hit.
Yes.
That's beautiful.
Yes.
Oh fuck, he has a beard.
Coming soon, the Legion of Memers Christmas album
Now I see
featuring
it.
Extra Zero.
Yeah. Oh
I
god.
see it now. That's you.
I will be the
Christmas.
producer because I am Jewish and I create all your Christmas music already.
You secretly run everything.
That's the
behind
most
you.
ironic thing that the Goy's the producer on the main show, and then
Yeah, but I would never freaking say that. It's horrible.
this
Oh,
one comes from Cloud. Jeremy FaceTime was a date last night.
oh my god.
No.
Good
Oh my
lord. You know, I was saying that the sunglasses, were a bit much, but he should put them back on.
You should put them on.
Somebody should do that one meme where it's take that picture of Dermy and put what you see versus what she sees.
God, I'm gonna save that.
That's when Omegle goes wrong.
From Dolomite, completely lacking inspiration today, but did a little something involving your guest.
Oh,
Very nice.
I like that.
I know nothing about Ahsoka, and everybody is talking about it, and I could not care less.
yeah, I'm not watching that shit.
For the seal clappers only.
Oh God,
It's
Mephisto says,
boring.
I'm not watching it to make content, so I'm not watching it.
I'm not watching it either.
No, fuck that.
I love this.
Dermy's
I
making
think
me
there was
watch it.
one underneath your Christmas meme.
let's
Extra.
check that out. Oop. Oh, here we go.
True Pop's Christmas album.
True Pop, you're a champ.
Do
You're,
you
you're
wanna-
a champ.
I'm
You wanna give
embracing
us
it.
any samples?
No.
off
No. I'll save it for later. I don't know if I can replicate Justin Bieber's. I mean, my voice.
that?
We've had you try.
If we ever get you to a meetup and there's karaoke, you know what's happening.
Oh no.
Oh, 100%. Listen, one day, probably when the Legion's like 10 years old, we'll be able to go to the Legion meetup, and we need to come up with a pub song for the Legion in true UK fashion.
Hey,
So,
I dabble in like book writing and script writing, so
The true Brit.
I might write
And
some-
now songwriting.
All right, I'll leave that up to you.
Did I just volunteer?
You did. You
No.
completely
No,
set
you
yourself up.
volunteered. That was
Book-
volunteering.
Book and script writing, unfinished books and script writing. That's not the same as writing songs. I don't know how well that will translate. But hey, I'll give it a shot. Why not? I guess I volunteered. But seriously, Extra Zero. Well, name your favorite Christmas song.
My favorite Christmas song. It's funny.
Maybe it's
probably
cold outside.
No, it's probably "Oh Holy Night," just because if you guys ever heard the terrible rendition of it, where the guy's like, "Fall on your knees."
No.
Extra Zero, could you sing a bit more of that for us? So we can clip it and put you on William Auto?
This guy turns into Bobcat Goldthwait. You can clip that. We'll add that into the Christmas album.
Nice, very nice.
And then
Extra Zero, what else we got on the agenda, mate?
Well, let's continue the gaming topics because this is another one that Vex wanted to cover. This one is in regards to Crystal Dynamics. So I think Crystal Dynamics recently got acquired by Embracer, if I remember
Last year.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
And
currently
so-
playing one of their games.
Hold on. Tomb Raider is mentioned somewhere, so I'm expecting Naughty Mac to pop up somewhere in chat.
Hopefully soon.
What's that, Crystal Dynamics?
So So Tomb Raider developer Crystal Dynamics has laid off 10 employees due to an internal restructuring. Did Embracer also get the rights to Tomb Raider? Is that now off Square Enix?
So they've licensed it out to Amazon for the time being. So the next
Okay.
entry is being, I believe, co-developed with Amazon Games, and then Amazon also has the rights to the new television series that they're developing with Phoebe Waller-Bridge on the writing staff. So
No. A
yeah.
horse
'Cause,
teeth.
you know, she
yes.
couldn't get enough of Indiana Jones. So, what was the next best thing with Indiana Jones? Tomb Raider.
I think the last rumored leak said that Laura was going to be kind of leading a team of wannabe Tomb Raiders, and then there would also be a lesbian love story arc in there as well. Last rumor. So
Wait. Lesbians. You caught my attention. All right, I'm watching this show.
I guess
Yeah,
if anyone's gonna be a
they're
lesbian,
not going to be attractive.
right?
Yeah.
You
Laura
are going to be the
Croft.
most unattractive lesbians you've ever seen.
God
Am
damn.
I the only one that's like not into the whole thing? Is like they have no interest in you. I mean, it's you know.
Yeah, you're the only one.
Mr. Married
What?
Man,
Actually-
shut up.
What is the fascination with lesbians?
I don't understand either. I mean, it's just like now I'm picturing like True Pop and No Green Rocks like in Roxbury suits going into a lesbian bar, like
Well, like chicks, like there's some chicks that are really into gay dude porn, and I just was always just like, why? There's nothing. Why?
There's no
There-
space
Two
for
of the
that.
things that you like. It makes sense, right? Jeez. It's not rocket science. Jeez.
It is to me.
I mean,
why?
it's a science of a rocket, but it's definitely not
Trish
rockets.
is right. Melanie will be livid, and if we can get her on here, we will definitely bring that up because I want to have that conversation. Professor Savage Jad's also in the same boat as me, but I mean, yeah, I guess Rox will chalk it up to special rings.
Yeah, no. He has no say in the matter. He is married, very happy married.
I felt this
he
way
has
even
no say.
before I was married.
I know. I'm just messing with you, mate.
So
you guys also heard with Crystal Dynamics publishing very successful games. Their game, Marvel's Avengers, is not going to be for sale on the 30th of September.
Yep.
So in 7
really?
days. So
it'll be
Yeah.
deleted forever, right?
well,
Yes.
basically,
Yes, it
everyone who
will.
still has it will have it. You know,
unless you have a physical disc, and
or
do
a
we
Steam
not
copy.
have the
I
FTC?
can keep my Steam copy. You know.
Yeah.
Even with the physical disc, though, I don't know if you guys noticed. Like I've got an Xbox. I don't know if PlayStation does the same thing, but when I go buy the physical disc copies of Xbox games now, it says Smart Delivery. There's nothing on the disc.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was something that they kind of coyly did.
Yeah.
The
So
FTC
even-
leaks.
Yeah, even the whole physical media thing, it's like, yeah, you can go buy a physical disc, but it's just going to prompt a digital download, unfortunately.
Not
So-
there's actually a site. Somebody brought this to my attention that will compile the amount. It lets you know if the game you're buying is actually on the disc or not. I'll see if I can find that.
Oh, I would love that
God-
website,
yeah.
please and
Yeah.
thank you. Because
God of
I'm
War
very
Ragnarok
much
has
in.
that.
Yeah, I hate that there are some games that only get the digital release. I treasure physical media. I like having the
Yes.
disc in my hands. So
I'm afraid the same thing is going to be for Spider-Man 2.
probably
I think that's
yeah.
the case. And definitely for the pre-orders. I'm not sure. It'll probably come out on a disc, I imagine.
Yeah.
But it's annoying that with Ragnarok that it's only on digital. You get like the DVD case, but you don't get the disc inside.
and
I
it's a
don't think.
code inside.
Well,
it. There was
that was
another
for the-
Sony.
That's why I like physical media.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Y'all just like showing it off.
Well, that was for the collector's version, Pop. The standard version, which I ended up going with, or I ended up going with the deluxe version. I actually did get a disc for Ragnarok.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
That's
they
useful
the
to know
discs-
because I'm going to get it
discs
once I
do
get the
exist.
PS5. So
But I don't understand this trend of like, well, we'll come out with a collector's version, but we're going to assume that the collectors don't want a disc, which is the most ass backwards thing.
Right. What an asinine assumption to be making. Like
But the whole thing with Avengers, I think I've gotten into these like Twitter debates with people. They're like, physical media is dying, and there's a particularly annoying guy on the Side Scrollers Discord. I don't care. I'm saying it. I'm not going to say his name, but he just like he's like obviously a Gen Zer, and he's just like, physical media is dead, bro. It's changing. Get used to it. It's like, well,
Dead, bro.
like there's a lot of licensed games that were really good, and I've established I'm a Transformers fan. Well, Activision's lost those licenses. I can play Platinum Games developed Transformers Devastation off of my disc. The War and Fall of Cybertron games are fantastic. I still own those. I can still play my physical copies of those. But once they're gone, like if you didn't get them in their period, and like Avengers came out in what, 2019? That's 3 years and it's already being delisted. You know, it does have a single player mode. It's not the greatest, but the whole idea that you can no longer buy the game moving forward. And then the FTC leaks say that the next console Microsoft plans to release is going to be a cloud hybrid system, which implies to me that maybe their games aren't going to, like, this could be the norm, where if a game is reliant on the cloud for, you know, to offload any CPU or GPU calculations, once those servers are gone, your $70 game may be completely unplayable.
Yep.
Yeah,
for sure, 100%.
And it's like with Marvel's Avengers, it's like it feels depressing because you know, I spent £3 on it on Steam. I have all the skins I can equip. I equipped the like Mark 3 Iron Man suit, looks awesome. All the skins that look cool. I have all the banners, everything, and people normally spend their money on it, and I feel bad for the people that bought the game first day and get nothing, and I get everything because, you know, the game's shutting down.
So Rabnet says I support emulation, but if they're doing a cloud hybrid model and they're doing these games that are reliant on servers, how are you going to emulate them moving forward?
Yeah,
it's like Modern Vintage Gamer. Do you guys follow him?
No.
He's a good dude. He does work with Digital Foundry, but he got kind of roasted by people because he said it's obvious to me after these FTC leaks that Microsoft does not believe in games preservation. And of course, anytime you're critical of Microsoft, you're a Sony pony. Anytime you're critical of Sony, which there's a lot to criticize, you're an Xbot. And I just feel that we can, like one of the people that I dislike the most in the space is Furtonga Plays, and he's trying to get this weird.
Oh, he's such a baiter. My goodness.
Yes, I hate the guy. And he only reason he has clout is because he's buddies with It's a Gundam and rides his coattails a little bit. But he's creating this lack of unity in the gaming space where if you're critical of one company, and you should be critical even of Nintendo, even of Steam, what happens when Gabe Newell's gone and somebody else comes out and suddenly, you know, Steam will pull like an Ubisoft where if you're inactive on your account, we'll delete all your games. You know, there are reasons to be critical of all of these companies, I think.
I agree with you. I have an Xbox. I enjoy Xbox, but I have a lot of concern about Microsoft and their plans moving forward. Like you said, I don't like this idea of going cloud-based only. I don't like that because they're going to go the way of every other company where it's going to be like, oh, past a certain date, you don't own this game anymore because everything is digital, and they're going to find ways to pinch every penny they can from you. On top of that, I don't like this trend that Microsoft started where it's just like, oh, let's just buy up everyone because we have a money pit. And Sony hasn't done as much, but they started doing it. They caught on to it. I don't like the idea of all of these developers and then Embracer's another one. There's one in Saudi Arabia that's starting to gain traction. There's Tencent in China. I don't like that all of these gaming studios are just going to conglomerates because that's eventually going to just lead to a complete degradation of any sort of creativity that devs just at a basic level are going to hold, because it's always going to be, what do the head honchos think? Because they're the ones financially backing you from day one. So I have so many concerns about this.
Do you watch 4K Blu-rays at all?
No, I don't have many of them, unfortunately.
Yeah, I do watch them. Oakley Vandal's comment here, like that's the other thing too, is that this change in the FTC leaks, it's taking away, you know, anybody that decides they want a Series X, suddenly the option to watch a 4K Blu-ray is gone for them.
No.
Or Blu-rays or DVDs, it's just gone for them. Yeah. And to me, you know, for everybody saying like I support emulation, well, if you don't have physical media, the means to back up your content, you now suddenly have to find a way into your system. And there are people that'll do it, but it makes it harder for people to preserve games when companies won't commit to doing it.
Yeah. It's definitely an interesting predicament because I think with movies, on the other hand, it's natural for them to be more so in DVD because streaming doesn't make money. Like you can hear all the Netflix numbers, all these, but at the end of the day, it doesn't make as much money. DVDs do tend to make more money. And the sooner the whole Hollywood realizes that, the better. But I think with the games, that's a little bit harder. They can kind of get away with it of being of it being digital. And you know, if it's this whole mentality of you will own nothing and you'll be happy.
Professor Savage says not to mention streaming doesn't give you true 4K.
Which I didn't know until a couple days ago. I guess I just kind of assumed because I have a 4K TV, right? I'm going to be honest. I don't really see I think I see the difference in games more than I do TV.
It depends. It depends on the like what they're doing. Like watch Blade Runner 2049, you'll see it.
Okay, I gotcha.
Yeah.
But
Vex, Kenzo True Pop, do you guys for DVDs when you buy them, do you guys have regional locks on there?
depends where it's coming from. The US ones are fine, but I have encountered issues with Japanese DVDs.
Yeah, because all my DVDs, I mean, I lost a lot of stuff in different moves, but I still have all my Smallville DVDs, and like half of the seasons I have in Smallville are like Middle Eastern regional locked, and I can't play them on my Xbox.
That's interesting because I think there was one stage where this was years ago where I bought a lot of used games, like got a big pile of them, and you know I was going through them and you know selling them off to the I don't know how you say it, tax or something like that, CEX, and they just pointed out to me, Horizon Forbidden Lost, that's this US symbol. I'm like, what the hell is that about? And that's when I learned about region locking and stuff like that. It's weird because it did work.
VLC takes care of
it did
but that's
work
only
on my PlayStation, right? It wasn't like locked or anything, but I couldn't sell it to anyone. So that's interesting. So I've never had an issue with anything region locked. Maybe it's because you know I sail the seas a lot, don't really use discs too much.
What I worry about too is like, remember we talked about Skullgirls and that getting edited. With this advent of digital, and it happened with Spider-Verse, Across the Spider-Verse. It didn't get edited for the people that owned it, right? But what was released digitally was a different version than the theatrical version. But really? I worry that but not major things. It was minor things, but
like little visuals cues.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet, so I wasn't aware of that. That's crazy. Okay.
What I worry about is like, we're seeing this with Skullgirls. A lot of people don't realize that GTA 4 was patched to remove a whole radio station, and a lot of people didn't care because it was a classic station. And I just worry about this all digital future where we lost the rights to this radio station in Grand Theft Auto 6. We're going to cut it. It is what it is, so we can continue to sell the games. Like the same rules that apply to movies should apply to games. And I'm the last person on earth to say
the same with characters that they're licensing at the moment. Like all these Fortnite skins and whatever. If they lose the licenses, then it turns to like a generic character.
Well, this happened with I don't know if any of you guys played Rainbow Six Siege.
Yeah.
They did that with the China thing. China said we don't have any. You can't have skulls in your video game, and you can't have gambling in your video game. So they went to the bar boom, and they took out the casino and everything.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Because I was I was living in Israel for about a decade, so. When I left the U.S., Smallville was still going, and I'm a big Smallville fan. So I ended up buying a whole bunch of seasons over there, which is why they are regional locked. But then I got VLC, and they worked. But I don't have a disc thing in my laptop. I only have it in the Xbox, which is why I'm kind of screwed.
Yeah, no, I had that issue when I was buying like anime DVDs in like the early 2000s because a lot of the things that you'd find online, unbeknownst to me, were region locked. So I'd buy them and they wouldn't work on our DVD player, and that's how I learned about the whole region.
It's not the same with Blu-rays and stuff, but with DVDs, it definitely was. I had a Region 4 player or whatever it was called, and it used to play them all.
Okay.
I still like the additional content, commentary, and I tend to only buy movies that I absolutely love anymore. But
Same.
The thing about digital is you don't get the special features, and it's just like, well, it's just to watch the movie. And it's like, well, where do you get that additional content? plus, Disney's kind of set some bad precedents, not even Disney, but universally. Who could forget the E.T., walkie-talkies and, of course, all the changes George Lucas has made. So, I just kind of worry about an all digital future where they decide that something's morally objectable, like, oh, hey, we're going to alter the ending to Ace Ventura, or crop it, or
they did that with The Simpsons when they put it on Disney Plus. There's episodes they're missing. There's episodes
Michael
that are
Jackson.
edited. Yeah. Even like I had watched Scrubs during like its original run when it was on TV, and I had the original DVDs. But then Scrubs, when it was on Netflix, it's got a different soundtrack. Like half the episodes don't have the same music anymore.
My favorite
episode of the BBC stuff as well.
My favorite episode
was the same way.
Yeah. My favorite episode of It's Always Sunny is not available on Hulu anymore. The one where they swayed Lethal Weapon.
That's wild.
Yeah.
And Cell Shade, Professor Savage Dad, thank you for bragging. I have all 10 seasons as well. Half of them don't work. Although I don't have 10 seasons of Stargate on DVD. I have it on other.
To be honest, seems like you don't need to own all of them. It falls off like at 3 or 4 seasons in.
No, listen, I watched all of them.
I know that.
There was no way I wasn't watching them.
Yeah,
I watched all of them
as well. And it's just like, good God, the first seasons were so much better than the later ones. It's like night and day.
That's interesting.
Michael Rosenbaum, do you mind coming on here to agree with that point? Because you seem to be shitting on Smallville every day. So
I can add him to the list of prospective guests.
I guarantee you there is no way in hell Michael Rosenbaum or anybody in Hollywood wouldn't want to come on here.
We could get Nick Searcy, maybe.
You know what? If it happens, it happens.
So on the music side of things, part of the reason for that is it's not necessarily that they need to make the change. It's music licensing rights are some of the most nebulous and difficult to navigate of any licensing rights that you're going to find. Music is the worst.
It's funny you bring that up because there's a show. Kenzo might know of it because it's Kenzo and True Pop might know of it. It's called Monkey Dust, which was an animated show in England, and it was so inappropriate, but it was very good. But it is gone from everywhere because the music licenses were sketchy, and they just had to yeet the whole thing, which really sucks because I laughed my ass off at that show, and now I can't find it.
You forget, Soups, I'm not British.
If you are, listen to you.
Yeah, but you are in the region, and you may have heard of it.
You're in Britain right now.
No.
No, he's actually in a hole somewhere. This is actually a Osama bin Laden's hole.
Oh, God.
Just souped it up a little bit.
Oh, somebody meme that.
Yeah, I do have some extra posters now.
Osama bin Bieber. I guess let's hit this one, and then Oculus gave a kind of a breaking one. So I don't know. I just wanted to ask Vex if you have any interest in this, since you do have Xbox. Even with Embracer's acquisition, Crystal Dynamics is still co-developing Perfect Dark.
There hasn't been enough information on this, so I'm neutral on it, because we got this Perfect Dark game announced like 5 or 6 years ago now.
Yeah.
And I haven't heard anything about it. So until I actually hear something on it, I'm just kind of like, whatevs.
Right. And then what's Rare's involvement even? I think that all they're doing is relegated to Sea of Thieves anymore.
Right. So I'm just kind of whatever on this. I want to see more details before I start having an opinion.
And oh wow, I didn't know this. Rabnet says they cut Gilbert Godfrey from Fairly Odd Parents. Holy shit. I guess that was probably after the Affleck thing.
Wait, what was the Affleck thing?
Well, it wasn't Affleck per se. It was that when the tsunami happened in 2011, I think, in Japan, he was on Twitter making jokes about it because he's Gilbert Gottfried. He was one of the funny thing is the man was one of the kindest people I've ever met off stage.
I've heard about that. Yes, he
He
was a
was
bit of a controversial figure on stage, but off
yeah.
stage he was like basically a sweetheart. Yeah.
He was, and I remember I waited in line. He was cash only for like his signings and photo ops. I waited in line. It's like I don't have any cash on me. I just have card. I said, but I've been a fan of yours since I was a real little kid. I would just love to get a picture with you. And he's like, oh, of course, come here. And talking in his real voice, and he actually stood on an egg crate to get his picture with. I'm not kidding. And I'm not the tallest guy. I'm 5'9", but he stood on an egg crate and put his arms around both of us. And he shook his hand. He's like, I really like that you appreciate my work. You came here. Don't worry about it. Come see me again. Gave us both hugs. He was such a sweet guy. I really do miss him. And Smoo, I was sad because I had tickets to see him in 2022. I had tickets to see him, and he postponed because he got sick, and then they rescheduled us for August, and I think he died in June or July.
Oh my
And
goodness.
I was so sad that that my tickets got refunded. Well, I obviously I wanted my tickets to be refunded, but I was just sad that my wife wasn't going to get to see him because
A
I
missed
really wanted.
opportunity, just
Yeah.
barely. Yeah.
Have you at least seen the bit he did for Fun? I think it was Funny or Die, where he was recording an audiobook for 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah.
And him doing video.
fisting.
He did video game lines too. He did one. I think it was for it might have been for Funny or Die as well. But he did like the whole Liquid Snake monologue about Los Infantes Terribles. It was fantastic. Yeah, Liquid Snake would have been amazing as Gilbert Godfrey. But yeah, this is we'll get on our last story here because we're kind of at the top of the hour for the show. But this is interesting. Nerdrotic, of course, putting in a joke here, Team America. What about the Film Actors Guild? # Hollywood Strike. But WGO and studio CEOs near deal finish line working on fine print. Now, we heard last week that they were going to potentially get this resolved by Thursday of this week. So
probably on Monday or Tuesday it'll be finalized and it'll be done with.
I really think that they'll drag it out the rest of the year.
I do too.
Sure.
Yeah.
You sure
Yeah.
about that?
Yeah, I agree. I think they're just trying to make headlines right now.
Wait,
Keep
but there's no
themselves
point.
relevant.
Right, there's no point in making a deal with the writers if you still after that can't film because you need the actors as well. So my theory was they would strike a deal with the actors first, definitely, and then just ignore the writers for a lot longer, and then make a deal with the writers. But or make a deal with both of them eventually down the road.
We'll see. I don't know. I feel like it's almost like 150 days since they were on strike. So who knows what it'll be resolved on Monday or Tuesday. We'll see.
I'm just thinking like they've already they've pushed back things that are supposed to come out in March, which is wild. Like they've put that's how far in advance they've moved things around. As much as the headlines tried to mislead us, they definitely know what the fuck's going on behind the scenes, right? They're ultimately the ones kind of at the moving the pawns around. But I guess there's financial incentive as well for them to just let this drag out and let these people basically eat themselves. Because if they don't go back to work, there's always, or if they come to a deal, then it's like, oh, well, fuck your deal because I want more money. So let's just start exporting more work. Let's start doing that and we can save more money. It's going to be the same thing now that the VFX people at Disney have unionized now.
Especially Marvel.
Yeah, same thing's going to happen. It's going to look great for maybe a year tops, and then they're just going to start shipping out all the work because it's not worth the hassle for Disney to comply. So
Gonna be
I
a
think
lot
they'll
more careful. Yeah.
I
Don't
think
do
they'll
the
just
hack.
drag this out in all honesty, and then there's some contracts that will expire in the meantime too, which is also more financial incentive because Disney especially, let's face it, as much as they put on a strong front, I think they're starting to finally feel the noose tighten financially with just flop after flop after flop with some of the budgets that they're putting out there. And
Well, we
Disney
had-
Plus is losing money too, so
And we had Iger put out that statement that they're going to step back, and I agree with everybody saying press X the doubt
Again.
on that they were going to.
No
You know,
He put out the statement
Yeah.
again. He's made that statement
Yeah,
before.
exactly.
I wasn't aware of that. Like that he was gonna. They were looking to step back from culture war issues, or But I guess
it's empty words.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, it's not so much empty words as that it's when you redefine things and you start saying things that one side of the aisle views as a culture war issue, and then the other says, "What are you talking about? It's normal, bro. This is normal society. These are normal pressing issues that reflect our modern society." I mean, they are very choosy about the words they use and the actions they take.
Well, the problem he has is they've cultivated this inside of Disney of the hiring practices and stuff of bringing in these SJWs that it's going to be real hard for him to pull it back because all of the top people there are part of that. He would have to clean house. He'd have to fire a ton of people or put them in line, and he doesn't have the balls to do that.
I think Vex was you were kind of implying that this might be an endurance test where they can just kind of clean house without, hey, we feel bad that you guys went through this, but we have other people that work for us, and there are plenty of people that work on production that aren't part of the union. And one of my best friends was part of production. He was a production assistant on House of Cards and Veep, and he wasn't union, and those people. They need their gig work. They're part of the gig economy, and there's going to be demands from them, and they're like, well, we have to hire writers, and it could be an opportunity to bring in fresh talent that's actually hungry and has new ideas that
actually talented.
Yeah, actually, I feel like in the case of Marvel, they brought in so many people that were part of the bad seasons of Rick and Morty. The only Rick and Morty writers that had any talent, regardless of what you think of Justin Roiland, is Justin Roiland and Ryan Ridley were the only two that had any talent in my book. And then you see how many others. It's like their writing credits include Jimmy Kimmel, the Academy Awards, and Rick and Morty, which I think was the writer of Ant-Man and Wasp, and also Kang Dynasty. He's supposed to be doing Kang Dynasty,
and they're both off. Actually, they're both like not writing those two Avengers movies.
Michael Waldron has not been confirmed, but it is heavily rumored. I know that Kang Dynasty writer is definitely out.
Both of them are out pretty soon. Eventually, they'll both be out.
I haven't seen any confirmation on Michael Waldron, just rumors by My Time to Shine, Hello, and the other Twitter accounts that report news. I want it to be true, though. I really wanted to get that Secret Wars guy out, because Secret Wars deserves a good story.
A reboot.
Mm-hmm.
Good old reboot.
So we're heading a little bit towards the end of the show, but I wanted to make a point of bringing up one of the animations that Kenzo made. Kenzo, it's the Mazda one, correct?
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
So Extra Zero, if you could bring up the one in the private chat that I linked to.
Because last week we played a animation I made on here, which was for Devil's Channel. It was a parody of the Hulk 70s outro featuring Dermy. But this week I was working on, as you know, we do a lot of stuff as Legion of Memers for the Philosophy channel. And they played this little animation as the intro. Yeah. But like, if you haven't seen the episode of the Philosophy this week, like I implore you to go and watch it, because one of our Legion members, Skirmitar, who made our amazing intro for us, he does weekly intro videos for the Philosophy, and the one he did this week is absolutely off the charts, man. Like, you need to see the editing skills this guy has. Seriously, it is absolutely hilarious. But
if you guys don't know Skirmitar, he also did the Legion of Memers intro for this show. So his work is fantastic, and we appreciate him very, very much.
But I also made this little short intro, which is another animated Mozart that I've done. And it's just like a little dance. Yeah, I'll let you know.
That would be a fun edit. All right.
Fuck yeah!
Yeah, there's a bit of a swear word there.
That should be a gift right there. Yeah.
Well, YouTube, don't kill us for that. Thank you. Yeah, so that was I love that.
Yeah, you can find
by any
that
chance,
on
if you
my
want-
Twitter as well, if you want to.
And as we said before in the beginning of the show, somebody took the roll your dog and made it their banner picture, which is pretty cool.
There's a little bit of full Aussie lore there. Roll your dog.
You know, the floss is actually a difficult move
so-
to pull off.
I can't do it.
I can't do it either. I've tried. No, it went out well. Well, maybe being a little tipsy.
Before
But,
we start off with outros, I do want to give a special shout out to the Coffee Brand Coffee affiliate program. They gave us a shot when nobody else would. So out of that loyalty, do me a favor. If you guys are going to buy Coffee Brand Coffee, use the code HAIL the LOM. The link for that code is in the description below. Extra Zero, run that clip.
Hello, everybody. I just wanted to share with you some great news. We are now an official affiliate of Coffee Brand Coffee. So go check out their coffee. It is fantastic. Fresh, tasty, fragrance. Oh my goodness. My mouth is getting more watery just thinking about it. If you are considering getting Coffee Brand Coffee, or you just need coffee in general, go check out coffeebrandcoffee.com. Again, that is coffeebrandcoffee.com. And don't forget to use the promo code HAIL the LOM for a special discount.
And thank you very much, everybody, for being so positive when it comes to people becoming or people getting us to be affiliates. It's in this world, it's very difficult to find somebody who's not going to cancel you for your opinions. And Coffee Brand Coffee is just that, coffee. So go enjoy it, have fun, and if you guys use our code, just send me a DM and I'll give you a shout out. Kenzo, what's up?
I just got corrected in the chat by Ryan Reaper. You know what? Skirmitar didn't make that intro this week. It was our friend Mr. Grant Gregory who made this one.
Who is also a Legion member and now a full-time editor. So congratulations to you, man.
Nice.
You've inspired me, and I'm going to work my butt off to get to where you're at. I love a healthy competition, mate.
Iron sharpens iron.
So Oculus, man, you got anything coming up this week you want to promote?
Well, you can follow me on Twitter, where I mostly do Friday night tight memes to put up every Friday night. And next week, we're going to get Paul Chatto on FNT. That'll be a little exciting.
Devil, maybe do it. You got anything coming up this week you want to promote?
Yeah, we got Skinemax tonight, then tomorrow Engaged, and check out Get Ranked. We're ranking 80s pop stars. You got extras on there. We have Dermy, if his internet is fixed, and Paul and DJ Axis. So check it out.
What's going to be the next one?
CJP, what you got coming up this week, mate?
This week, I'm going to do a producing stream. I don't have a guest this week, so I'm going to actually fire up my DAW and just kind of show my process when it comes to making music and see how that goes. And because unfortunately, my guest last week wasn't able to make it, so we're going to have to reschedule for October for him. So I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that's going to work with StreamYards being what StreamYards is. But I did also drop a new track today for my next album, Electronic Music 2, or Electric Noise 2, Digital Boogaloo, which I'll do a full album release in December. So
awesome. And I highly recommend if you want to learn how to make music, go check out CJP's channel and make sure, if you want to know anything specific, comment in the comment section of these videos. It is great for the algorithm and it really helps the channel. It also helps the creators know what you want to learn, and that way they can kind of create more content related to that. Kenzo, what you got coming up this week, mate?
I shall be working on some more animations this week. So that's all I'll be doing though.
Awesome. We can't wait to see it.
Yeah, but yeah, I might be putting some other art up on the Twitter X thingy, and check out Art by Kenzo over on the YouTubes. And yeah, it's been really nice to meet you in person, Vex.
Oh, it's my
And-
pleasure. Trust me. I'm so glad to finally be able to make this and meet all you guys. So thank you for having me.
Yeah, you're very welcome.
Did you just assume my gender?
Yes, I did. Deal with it.
True Pop, you got anything coming up this week?
Yeah, I'd just like to chill out with some stuff, I guess. Essentially, I say that a lot. Essentially, I'm doing live streams every evening of Marvel's Avengers. It's been a blast. To put it mildly. I've been playing through the campaign. There's some good stuff, but mainly bad because the campaign story it revolves around Miss Marvel. She's not even an Avenger member. She's not that particularly interesting. You know, the Avengers disband after a terrible, I don't know, accident goes on the helicarrier of a.
It's almost like Civil War in a sense.
Yeah, and they all disband, and you know, because of Miss Marvel, they all band together, and each of the members like gives her like a pep talk, and they instantly like her. You know the saying like that you say to kids, like the world doesn't revolve around you. In this game, it does feel like the world does revolve around Miss Marvel. It is annoying because I want to play as the Thor, I want to play as this, but hang on. You have to play as Miss Marvel a little bit before, and then you can go on to play the new character in the story. It's a shame because there's performances in there like Nathan Drake's voice, actor Nolan North, I think.
Yeah,
he
that's
voices
Iron
Tony.
Man.
He's fantastic. I love the guy. Brilliant choice for voicing him. Bruce Banner as well acts like a typical Bruce Banner. Everyone, it's got good stuff in there, but it's just a pile of shit with some diamonds in it. That's what I describe it to. And yeah, you can check out my streams on there where I'm complaining about playing as Miss Marvel for the 18th time in the campaign story. Yeah, just feel free to ask me anything on the stream. I also have channel memberships that I recently launched. The True Believer. I'm not going to name it True Beaver. Doesn't matter how much you guys ask me. I'm not going to name it True Beaver. Jeez. A True Believer is the Stan Lee catchphrase. All right. And yeah, you'll get access to some of my old gaming streams. I will be making like kind of an overall video when I finish playing through the campaign on Marvel's Avengers. So stay tuned to that. I'm going to be
The
breaking
video is going to be 2 minutes.
Can't you play like a good game?
I played the
I will. I'll play God of War Ragnarok soon. But you know, this was
he said a good game. Come on, now.
Play something good. That game's shit.
What,
Like,
God of War
that
Ragnarok.
No,
It's-
the Marvel Avenger game.
Oh,
Dog
okay.
shit.
Well,
sorry.
God of War Ragnarok has an okay story, but the gameplay is.
All right. When you guys see like a car wreck and it's about to crash on the 30th of September, you can't help but look. You can't help but play it. You know. And
I'd
that's
rather
the
watch you
adventure.
play E.T. on the Atari than.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough.
Congratulations on channel memberships, though. That's awesome.
Yeah. I didn't really have ideas for it. What could I provide of value to the members? But at the end of the day, it's another way for people to support the channel.
Give them like shirtless pics or something.
No.
No?
Yeah, no, you got to put the Calvin Klein underwear pics on like a true believer.
Hey. Super chats, I will consider it. I will consider it. All right?
You super
It's going to be a high price.
Photoshop some pictures of you with Selena, you know? There you go.
If Wookiee Be Bad is out there, there's your calling, dude. You've already ruined Dermy. Now it's time True Pop.
Oh, no. Don't encourage me. Don't encourage me.
Haven't I already been doing a good job?
Yeah.
Extra Zero, you got anything coming up this week?
Yeah, so as I mentioned early on, we've got on my channel, Figure Action, we do the Figure Reaction series. We've got the duo behind the Legendary Warriors action figure Kickstarter line. They're going to be on Monday at 8 o'clock. I'll be in the background, pushing the buttons for that conversation. But I'm looking forward to that conversation because those guys, as I mentioned, used to work on the Four Horsemen with Todd McFarlane. So that's definitely some exciting stuff. And just really excited to hear, they started this Kickstarter. The goal was to raise 100. And again, this is a brand new project. This has no IP outside of their creation. The goal was to raise $125,000 in 45 days. They've got, I believe, 30 days left, and they're already almost there. Like they're past the halfway point. So, let me see where they're actually at right now, because I've got their Kickstarter bookmarked. Yes, I'm sorry, they have 22 days to go, but they've raised $103,759. Yeah, so $103,759. So they have 22,000 left to go with 22 days. They're going to make it. I mean, it's really cool stuff they're doing. Of course, tomorrow I'll be over on Devil Made Me Do It's channel, ranking 80s pop stars. I'll be memeing the hell out of side scrollers this week, and you'll be able to find me on that Friday show. It's going to be really exciting. I'll be there with the crew, and of course, Melanie Mack's now a permanent Friday host, so it'll be cool to hang out with all of them, get to talk to her. Though I already did, because I got to be on for the one of the post shows, which was cool. And I'll be off next week for a wedding, so I won't be on the Saturday show, but we do have a really good guest lined up, and a very musically inclined guest. So I'm looking forward to watching that after I get done on Saturday. So follow me on Twitter, extra008, if you like memes. I'm a good one to follow. That's all I got.
Vex, what do you got coming up this week? Let the people know where they can find you. And
thank you again for having me. I had a good time here. You guys have great chemistry, and we had some good conversations. So thank you again. You guys can find me on Twitter at Vex Electronica, all one word. My main channel is at Vex Electronica as well, one word. And my second channel, the gaming channel, is Vex Electronica Gaming. Basically anywhere you see Vex Electronica, you know it's me. I've taken that name on basically every platform. As soon as I finish here, actually, I am going to not even finish. I haven't even started editing, but I watched The Continental yesterday because the first episode came out. And I'm just going to say the critics got it totally wrong. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay. Is that good or bad?
It's very good in my opinion.
Okay, I'm excited.
But yeah, I was kind of just we haven't been on the greatest trend with television, so I was kind of expecting a meh thing. I didn't think that I'd want to react to it, but with how well I think they did in the debut episode, mixed with how like fucking backwards the critics' reviews were, I was just like, there's content here. I need to pump this out. So that'll be out hopefully tomorrow early afternoon on the main channel. Other than that, I've got some streams coming up. I usually post on Twitter the day of, and there's a general community post I put on my main channel on Sundays. So you can check me out there to figure out where. Usually Sundays I'm on a couple streams, so we'll see what happens. If I sleep tonight, maybe. But yeah, that's where I'm always on. Cannoli Sasquatch's channel on Mondays too. Mischief Mayhem Movie. This Monday we are reviewing Spaceballs.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So we just like sit back, go through the movie, do some trivia, have just a good time. It's just a fun Monday night chill stream. So feel free to drop by that. But once again, thank you so much for having me on.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah,
you gotta sync up with Mephisto. He does his movie channel is great.
Yep.
I see him because we seem to all of us kind of run in similar circles, right? So I've seen his name pop up quite a bit, but I actually didn't know that he made content. So I will look into that actually once we finish here.
Yeah, he's a good friend of the channel and a friend of mine. He does some great stuff.
All right, awesome.
And Extra Zero was just on his show before this show.
Yeah, we literally came from there to here. We were talking Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. It was my first time seeing it, and it was interesting because I missed the movie back in 2004, and I don't know how I just didn't see it because I love Jim Carrey for the most part. and I love the movie the first, and Mephisto's like, I actually didn't like the movie, and I was like, what? I was surprised, but I had to cut it short, so I didn't really get into it with why he particularly didn't like the movie, but still, it was a fun time over there. I'm looking forward to being back. I want to go back on for the full couple hours next time. So
nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
When it comes to movies, like, there's plenty to talk about. I could waffle on about movies for like eternity. So yeah,
Oh,
I
same
definitely
here.
need to join. Yeah.
And that's why I rely on you, True Pop, to educate this dumb ape. Appreciate you. I am Superman. If he wasn't scared of Green Rocks, leader, creator, and founder of the Legion of Memers. If you guys are meming, make sure to hashtag and at the Legion of Memers, because I am always looking for new talent. I will be sifting through a lot of them. All I'm looking for is consistency and the work. You don't have to be fantastic. All I want to see is that you have the drive to learn and to grow. And make sure to put it in the show threads of the shows that you're watching, because that also helps the channel. Along with that, so right now on the poll that we have 71% say yes to the YouTube versus CapCut video. So I will be putting that on the channel within the next few days. I actually want to make it properly detailed. I thought I was going to do a shorter one, but I want to make sure that you guys are able to get good information from it. And I will start posting more regularly for what you want to learn for making videos and everything like that. So you can either DM me, DM Extra Zero, or DM the Legion. And I will do my best to fulfill those requests, because if you want to learn it, chances are that somebody else will. So that's how I view everything. So thank you guys so much for being here today. Vex, it was nice seeing you again, or seeing the avatar, but hanging out with you. I appreciate everybody for being here, and we will see you guys next week. See you later.
Bye.
Jack Darlad, do me a favor, DM me on Twitter, and we talk to you. So if this intro is this long, how long do you think the next year is going to be? Have a great week, everybody. See you later.